Good morning. Welcome to Reading the Science of Mind in 1 Year. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the Center for Spiritual Living Common Ground in Central Maryland. Today is May 14th. And so, what we do here is we listen to the selection of the day being read, and then we share whatever perspectives come alive in us, answer any questions that we have, allow ourselves to argue with what Holmes wrote, if that's alive in us, to really explore it unapologetically, knowing that we are each infinite intelligence in form. And so the intelligence that wrote it is the same intelligence, and exploring it is the same intelligence answering those explorational questions. So here we are. So let's get to it this morning and hear what we have to consider. Reading from May 14th, Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 200, paragraph 4, through page 201, paragraph 4, using inclusive language. Disease is impersonal. The word disease means lack of ease, dis-ease. Abnormal, absence of a normal condition. In order to do their work, it is necessary for the practitioner to know that disease is not an entity, any more than darkness, which is the absence of light, is an entity. From the standpoint of the mental practitioner, disease is an impersonal thing attempting to operate and personify itself, a thought force, a misconception, a conviction in the mind of the one who has it, and of course, an actual experience to the one who is suffering from it. Regardless of its particular source, disease is an experience operating through people which does not belong to them at all. Recognize that it is neither person, place, nor thing, that there is no spiritual law to support it, that it is discord fleeing before harmony, that there is nothing but the truth. You must know that the power you are using is definite, scientific, dynamic, spiritual, absolute, complete, and that it will work. Let no fear come into your thought. The first thing a practitioner does is to separate the belief from the believer. It is a personal, not a cosmic problem. Evil is not a problem to God, it is only a problem to the individual. Therefore, we separate the belief from the believer and begin to perceive the individual as a spiritual being, no longer subject to this belief, and even now the embodiment of perfection. If the practitioner is able to see only perfection, wholeness, they will see health manifested in their patient. The practitioner then, recognizing that mind or intelligence or spirit, whatever they choose to call it, is the groundwork of all movement, definitely, specifically, and consciously, speaks their word into this creative medium. Begin to use this principle, no matter how slight you feel your knowledge, and the result will inspire you to perceive new ways and methods of approach until you gradually grow into deeper assurance. People are fundamentally perfect. This is our whole premise. Perfect God, perfect person, perfect being. This is the whole basis of our argument. Always mentally separate disease from the one suffering from it. In mental practice, never locate disease, because thoughts are things. Separate the belief from the believer, for the spiritual person has no disease, and you are talking only about the spiritual person. So that can be challenging. Good morning, Gail. to separate the spiritual from the physical can be challenging, um, without slipping into an unhealthy denial, um, because we are in physical form and we are spirit in physical form. And so, while I think I grasp what Holmes is getting to, um, I think it's impossible to truly separate the physical from the spiritual, since the physical is the spiritual expressing in the physical. It all gets very circular, doesn't it? um, and I think that's an okay thing because it just is how it is. I think for me, the big thing to really take away about this illness piece, the disease piece, is to look at what causes the dis-ease. Not what's causing a particular illness, but what is causing the dis-ease. And I can tell you from my own personal experience that there is discomfort if I'm experiencing some bacterial or viral infection in my physical being. I certainly have physical discomfort. What I relate to as dis-ease is truly mental. Um, it's when I start running those narratives of I'm never going to feel better. Right? I feel so bad, I just want to lay here and die. Right? And when I had H1N1 way back before COVID was even a thing, I was so sick, I would have been okay to leave the planet. I literally lost 15 days of my life that I don't even know where they went. I was so sick physically. The dis-ease is in the mental piece. Um, yeah, we have physical stuff, and that's real. Understanding that it's not a separate entity makes all the difference in the world. Um, I have somebody right now who I'm holding prayer for. In fact, she may be in surgery as we speak. Um, and, dancing with the cancer diagnosis is probably the biggest thing that we are challenged with in this human form, and how to acknowledge our human process around that without doing spiritual bypass, and then how to acknowledge the spiritual without doing a human bypass. How do we bring those things together? Um, and I don't know that there's any one way to do that. For me, it's in the unapologetic exploration and questioning what's really happening here. I know one of the things that I still question is grappling with understanding the difference between physical cure and spiritual mind healing. Because everything in this physical realm certainly points to being temporal, to being impermanent, right? Um, and if in alignment with what we teach, if it's true that everything is spirit expressing in form, and that form is temporal, but the spirit is eternal, then there would be, if we really grasp that, if I really grasp that, what I question is, would I have dis-ease about leaving my body? Now, it's easy to contemplate that when I'm not in a position of leaving my body. I mean, let's just be boldly upfront about this. Way easier to grapple with and contemplate and, you know, turn the Rubik's Cube and play with it when we're not in that situation. Um, and I don't know the answer. Um, I know I am in physical pain every day from a very weird, rare condition called meloriostosis, where I grow extra bone where I don't need it. And most days I experience no dis-ease, even though I experience physical discomfort. Um, and I wonder why that is. And some days I don't know, and other days it's because I realize that, I'm in a physical body, and if it's all God, then it's all God, right? Even how my body is expressing is God seeking to expand itself by experience. Um, and as I say, I think it's a lot for us to grapple with. And I guess the big takeaway for me that I want to leave each of you with is, first of all, give yourself permission to doubt and to be curious and to ask the hard questions, even if there are no answers forthcoming, to grapple with this stuff in a way that is honest and unapologetic. And as we do, to remember that there's only one, that there is no illness, no circumstance, no situation that is a separate entity with a separate power. So there's no two powers warring against each other ever, um, because it's easy to slip into that when things are traumatic in this physical realm. Um, yeah, and so I'm going to stop there and invite you to join me in a 5-minute meditative practice where we simply just practice being present with what is, to not try to push anything away or not try to make anything happen. Just practice being present. And I will close us out with a spiritual mind treatment. Okay, here we go. And so with this breath, I recognize one power everywhere present, one whole, complete, and perfect isness, the substance that is creation. One substance expressing in multiplicity, expressing the desire of itself to expand its experience of itself through continuous newness, continuous birth, continuous expression, infinite intelligence, infinite abundance, infinite possibility. One, expressing in multiplicity, never separate from itself. And so, with no separation of one, there can ever only be one. So I know that I am that, expressing in form. Consciousness itself, expanding its experience of itself by means of expressing as me, by means of expressing as each person on this daily call, each one that avails themselves of it by recording, and each and every one who doesn't even know it's happening. All one. Cells in the one body of the infinite. Each cell interacting, learning from this incredible environment of one that we collectively create by our use of consciousness, by the beliefs we hold in mind at the conscious and at the subconscious level. And so I speak my word, claiming and affirming a cleaning house of my subconscious, a becoming aware of what is operating in the subconscious level of thought, knowing that as soon as it comes into awareness, it is available for healing, for transformation. That thoughts are things, and so changing a thing, changing the thought, is the beginning. And I accept my role as an equilateral cell within one body. I accept my agency to participate in the spiritual mind healing of the whole, to speak truth to that self within, to remind myself of the truth of my being, to separate belief from the believer, to remind myself that behavior is evidence of a belief and never the truth of the believer, but rather evidence of a belief which is changeable. And so I claim and affirm the agency and authority to speak truth, to hold truth in my awareness, to hold the harmonious operation of one as a commitment of my life, the life that is consciousness living as me, to fully be that in this physical realm. power of love, to be the power of intelligence, to be the power of peace, to simply be. And I am grateful. I am grateful that the word spoken for one is the word spoken for all, that the activity that we call law has already responded before the words were even formed in the English language, responded when the desire that the words express became known. Law responding to itself, saying yes to the desire to express, making it happen in absolute perfection. And I am grateful. It is from this gratitude, from this place of awareness and conviction that recognizes it is already complete, that I let go. I let go of all of the doubt and all of the pride and all of the human beliefs that distort that I, the human I, need to make anything happen. I let that go as I recognize that it's already done. Nothing to make happen. It's simply more being to express. I let it go and let it be. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.